When you're lonely Indian and you're a little flat and on a Sunday, especially Sundays.
Yeah. These are the cultural shocks you will experience after coming in Germany.
And then German is called to be a very difficult language, which is not true. German is not more difficult than any other.
Why do you think it's important for all the international people who are coming to Germany to learn the language? Is it really important even nowadays?
I'm convinced that it is very important. As a German teacher, of course, I'm convinced. But although there are many students who do their studies in English and have to read many English texts, they live in Germany. On all the surrounding is not English, it is German. Just do it, just try out. It's a game, it's a play.
Yeah.
But why don't people do it?
Can you do it again?
Yeah. German.
Yeah.
Like this. Namaste.
Yeah.
I do this for a little bit of show. We speak absolutely Hochdeutsch.
The highest.
The highest. There's another fact. People coming from India speak at least 2 languages.
Yes.
They speak English and Hindi, and maybe they speak
Their
Punjabi or Gujarati or something else.
Yes.
So they are used to change languages. They are used to learning languages, which is a big Vorteil, a big
Advantage.
Right. If we talk about students, and that is
Including
what we
you.
are talking
Yeah.
about, it's a quite a different situation to people that come as refugees, and their motivation to learn German is different,
Uh-huh.
and their state of mind is different.
Since the day you meet us until the day you take your flights to Germany, there should not be a single day that you do not learn German.
Right. Not a single day.
Not a single day.
I learned many languages.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid. I was not afraid to make mistakes. I just started talking.
Yeah.
And I was very proud when I knew at least one word in this language and I used it.
Hello and welcome to the new episode of East Germany podcast, PRI's. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mrs. Ulrike Albrecht Kummer, who is a professional German teacher and has been teaching German in different countries of the world for more than 50 years now. She has helped thousands of students on their German learning journeys, which also includes me. In this episode, we have tried to bring a wholesome conversation for you, both from a perspective of a student as well as a teacher. We've also tried to ask some very difficult questions such as, is German really required in Germany these days, or is English sufficient? We have also covered many crucial topics which will help you take away the fear of learning German and help you learn German better. I hope you enjoy this conversation, and please let us know in the comments how you found the podcast and who you want to see next on PRI's PANCHAYAT. To the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm fine.
Perfect.
I'm happy to sit here and talk to you.
So for people who are interested, she is actually my German teacher, and she's one of the very good German teachers I had the privilege to have in my life. Also, I think, as we also were also talking in the train, that a teacher has a very big impact on how do you actually like the subject. So if you have a bad teacher, you don't like the subject anymore.
You're absolutely right. When I remember the time I was at school, I had a very bad teacher in chemistry, so I have no idea about chemistry. But I had a wonderful teacher, for example, in Latin, and I loved Latin, and I was very good at Latin, for example. And I think this happens almost to everybody.
Yeah.
If the teacher is good, you're engaged, you want to learn, you want to impress him
Yeah.
or her maybe, and you're good with a good teacher. Yes.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
talking about German language, you said that you started teaching German more than 50 years ago when you
Yes.
were very young yourself.
When I was very young,
Yeah.
it
Can you
was-
tell us how did it started, all of it?
how it started?
Yeah.
Well, one night I met somebody and he said, well, I'm looking for a German teacher. And it was, this guy was from the Spanish embassy. And at this time I was very young. And I said, well, my German is good, I can try. And so I started teaching German to Spanish people. First of all, the children, kind of how you say Nachhilfe, some help at school, and after that I was teaching German to the Spanish teachers. They had a Spanish school.
Okay.
Spanish children had to go to a Spanish school, and the teachers wanted to learn German, so I taught them German in a private course.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And how young were you?
I was less than 20 years old. I was really young. Yeah. And it was different to what I'm doing today. I thought they have to learn grammar, so we did grammar. And I remember there was a mathematics teacher, and he was very good at grammar. He really understood the grammar. He could do it. He could do these sentences, but he was not able to go to a restaurant and order a coffee.
Okay.
So by now I know we have two ways of learning a language. One is the theoretical, learning the grammar, learning the structure, and the other is just practicing, speaking with people, and so on.
As a German teacher, you've had, obviously you teach German to international students who are not born in Germany.
Yes.
Also, like you personally yourself, you learn German also as a foreign language.
I studied it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's important for all the international people who are coming to Germany to learn the language? Is it really important even nowadays? Or how is it? They survive?
Yeah.
Or is it just survival? Like, how do you take this?
Of course, I'm convinced that it is very important. As a German teacher, of course, I'm convinced. But although there are many students who do their studies in English and have to read many English texts, they live in Germany. On all the surrounding is not English, it is German.
Exactly.
And if they go anywhere, or if they want to have contact with people, they have to speak German. Otherwise, they live like in an island and have no contact, and they don't know what is going on around them. I think they would lose a lot of experiences and possibilities.
Yeah, that's very true. And when people ask me personally, like, is German really required nowadays in Germany? I always make this debate or I put this point, like, forget if it's important or not. Just turn the tables around. Imagine a foreign guy coming to India or to your countries, and he wants to live there and have a life there, have a job, start a family, anything they want to do. Do you think coming there and they speak their own mother tongue or maybe just English, how happy life will they have? What kind of quality will they have? If they don't learn Hindi, let's say, what kind of society they will live in? How will they make friends, neighbors? Because you cannot expect everyone to be fluent in English. You cannot express everything in a foreign language. You can survive. But if you really want to have a quality of life, because Germany has so many things to give and it's such a beautiful country, I just make this argument and they're like, okay, now we understand.
Okay, yeah. If I would go to India, it would be the first thing to try to learn a little bit of Hindi and to try to decipherate these Indian letters.
Exactly, yeah.
I find it interesting, but not everybody is interested in learning another language. And then German is called to be a very difficult language, which is not true. I think this is not true. But people say German is difficult. Why do they say this? Because we have this der, die, das articles, and people say, oh, I cannot learn der, die, das. Well, might be it's a bit much to learn, but it's not so important.
Yeah.
German is not more difficult than any other language.
That is true.
In the end, every language is the same. They have difficulties in this respect or in the other. English is an easy language for beginners, but then if your English is more elaborated and better, it's not so easy anymore. German is quite difficult in the beginning because of this der, die, das and so. But then you can manage.
Yeah.
So.
One thing, especially people coming from Indian or Southern Asian countries, I don't know if most of them know it, but our language Hindi is derived from the mother language Sanskrit.
Yeah.
So Sanskrit was the ancient Indian language.
Yeah.
German grammar and Sanskrit grammar
Right.
is so much similar.
Yes.
So much similar. And it's not very difficult if you already know Hindi or Sanskrit. Now, not many people know Sanskrit anymore, but still, Hindi is very similar to Sanskrit, I'd say. And a lot of Hindi grammar and German grammar. So it's like not a surprise to us. Oh, there are so many articles. No, we have this also in our languages. I don't know why people have made this a big thing. Like German is so difficult. I love the language. I've personally
love the
been learning.
language?
Yeah, I
Oh.
started last year in August, and now, I mean, you're my teacher. You can see.
You started last year in August?
In August, yeah.
Yes, I'm your teacher. I didn't know when you started,
Yeah.
but I know your German is really nice.
Thank
It's
you
a pity
so.
that we speak in English, so nobody can see how good his
Yeah.
German is.
But
Yeah, but Sanskrit and German, well, it's the same family. It's all the Indo-European language.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's especially people or students coming from India. It should not be difficult for you. Just have that zeal that okay, it's an easy language, and stop saying German is a difficult language.
And there's another fact. People coming from India speak at least two languages. They
Yes.
speak English and Hindi, and maybe they speak
Their own.
Punjabi or Gujarati or something else.
Yes.
So they are used to change languages. They are used to learning languages, which is a
Yeah.
big Vorteil, a big
Advantage.
advantage. Right. It's a big advantage.
Now you've experienced with hundreds of students. You've taught German to hundreds of students. What do you think?
I think it's thousands.
Thousands.
Yes. I tried to find out, and
Yeah.
I multiplied it, and I think it's about 1,000 students.
No way.
Yes.
So you already
So
had
many
experience.
years and
Thousands.
About
Wow.
30 per year, more or less. Yeah.
Wow.
But from all countries.
Yes, and that's also the ground why I wanted to ask this question. You had experience with thousands of students
Yeah.
teaching them German, and all different, coming from different cultures, all from various different backgrounds. What common things have you found out are the problems when all these international students want to learn German? Are there some common things that everyone is facing? Some issues while learning German, other than articles, obviously.
Well, I think my students are not only students. It depends why people come to Germany, why they want to learn German.
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about students, and that is
Including
what
me.
we're talking
yeah.
about, it's a quite a different situation to people that come as refugees, and their
Okay.
motivation to learn German is different,
Uh-huh.
and their state of mind is different.
Oh, wow.
Or a third group would be somebody who married a German or a German man or German woman, and therefore is here. It's also it's a different motivation and different difficulties.
Mm.
So
Okay, so it's more
I
based
cannot
on
say
like,
everybody faces the same.
same issues.
That's one factor. The other is, of course, the language, the mother tongue.
Uh-huh.
You said Hindi, Sanskrit. It's also the Indo-European family.
Yeah.
But somebody coming from China has
Mm-hmm.
a completely different language background
That is very true.
and has to learn something really different. Turkish people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they have other difficulties.
So we cannot narrow it down to some common problems.
And some people with English language are used to the fact that everybody speaks English. They are not forced, they are not so much forced to learn German
yeah.
like everybody else.
Yeah, but also I think in these years now of the modernization and globalization and many people coming to Germany, it's slowly trying to become an international country.
Yeah.
It already has been, but language-wise. So now
Yeah.
English is adapting more and more into the corporate cultures
Yeah.
and the work life.
Yeah.
But also still, I think, still yet, and even in the coming many years, learning German is always good and always an
Yeah.
advantage.
Because this common English that everybody speaks, the Italian speaks English, the French speak English all together, it's a bad English. It's not very rich.
Yeah.
Of course, they can communicate about things, the most important things, but we lose tastes, we lose certain spices
Yeah.
that a language can give.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
mean, if you go to the definition of a language, what is language? It's a mean of communication,
Yeah, it's
telling how you feel or just communicating.
yeah.
And if you can't do it in a good way, and we all of us, we talk about healthy communication, a good communication, and where a good communication can take you, it can change your perspectives and it can make you come to a solution. And if that way is not good,
Yeah. And
yeah.
it is very superficial because you have not a variety of things to say.
Mm-hmm.
You have a begrenzte, limited words, limited lexic, but every language is so much richer than this plastic English that people speak.
That is very true. Yes.
Yeah. It's the same with dialects.
Yeah.
German has many. The German language, like many others as well, but the German language has many varieties, many dialects, and you can express things in one dialect which the High German, the so-called High German, can't express.
What's the German that we speak?
We speak absolutely Hochdeutsch.
The highest.
The highest. Well, but when I say the highest, it sounds like the best. It's not the best.
Yeah.
It's not the best. These dialects allow to say things with certain emotions. With you can show distance or non-distance. But the High Germany, it's more plastic.
More plastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but we learn this in our books because our books. If you have a German book, it is meant to be used in Austria, in Switzerland, and all over Germany. So to have the high Germany.
So when teachers are teaching Germans in different part of Germany, they're all teaching the High German.
They're all teaching the High Germany. But when students come out and they go to the market to buy potatoes, they will hear a dialect and they won't understand perhaps. In the south of Germany or in Switzerland. Switzerland has very strong dialects, which even I can sometimes really understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's also like the neighboring countries like Switzerland, France, and then we have the Netherlands. They also, when you go near the border, they'll have a different dialect also.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the history of Germany was not so centralized as France. France was Paris in the middle, and it was France. But the history of Germany, we have all these little parts and Fürstentümer and what is Fürstentümer now in English?
We don't.
Yeah.
Translate.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm a friend of dialects. You noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, because it makes it so rich.
Yeah.
And we know many languages are about to be extincted. As many animals are about to be extincted, the same happens to languages. Little languages where there are only a few people left, and when they die, it's over. Because everybody wants to speak English.
Exactly, yeah.
And all the possibilities these languages can express will die. I give you an example. The Inuit language, the language of the people in the north, in the Arctic regions, have about 20 words for snow.
Oh, wow.
We can imagine why this is.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because the snow is very important.
Yeah.
And they have to distinguish which kind of snow it is.
Yes.
Can you cross? Will it
Yeah.
what will happen with the snow? So they have these many. So every culture has certain specialities which another has, and which English not has.
Yeah. That's very, very true, because if I also consider like Hindi or India, we say that every 10 kilometers there's a cultural change, there's a language change.
Right.
And even if it's just Hindi, there are hundreds of different ways people speak Hindi with their own dialects, and it can be different from a village to village also. I've personally seen that. They speak the same language, but a village to village dialect, the accent would be totally different. And this is a beauty of a language when you see it. Don't take this as a difficulty. Oh, it's so difficult to learn German because they speak this way. Think of it as a beautiful thing. Okay, man, these people are expressing themselves like this, but they have a different way. And if you, I personally am I learn a lot about psychology. It's just a switch, a mental switch. If you just change it from difficulty to an exciting thing, you'll be more happy to learn about this.
Yeah. Well, so this is motivation. What is
Yeah.
motivating you to learn a language? Some people are not motivated.
That's very true. And as we talked about this in the class also, I personally think discipline is more higher than motivation, because some days you will have motivation, other day you won't. But if you're very disciplined, and consistency is the key to everything. If you want to be successful in anything, consistency is the key. Do it every day,
yeah.
every day, every day.
But motivation, as I said, sometimes I was teaching German to refugees or to people who didn't really want to come to Germany, who were forced to come to Germany. Their motivation is different. They don't want to be
Let's say,
here.
what's the reason behind learning German? Why do you want to learn German?
Right.
Yeah, for me, like my course, my master's program, completely in English. I am doing a startup, does not require me to speak German. Why am I learning German? To make my life better, to connect more with people. I want to know people. I want to connect with them, network with them. And I cannot expect all of them to be fluent in English. So I have to be fluent in their language. And it's a beautiful thing. Also, I think going to a language school and learning among peers and face to face with the teacher, that's something that has made me so happy that for last year, since August, I'm happy waking up every day that I'm going to school today to learn German.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think has helped me so much in learning the language better. So many people, they don't want to. They're like, we want to still find jobs in English. We will still make it. We will still survive. But why do you want to still survive? Why not enjoy it to the best potential? Why not have an amazing life in Germany? Yeah.
You will lose so much when you don't understand. It's not only the language you learn about the culture, you learn how to behave, how to say hello. What does he mean? Why does he say moin? Why does he say guten Tag? When do you say guten Tag? How near is he? What is he angry? Things like this. And also
true.
if you go to if you join a German course, you will get to know many other people, and this is interesting too. You will not only learn German, but you will meet people from all over the world, which might also be very interesting.
Also nowadays, especially after COVID, this online education trend had started. Online classes, learning from YouTube. I think as a marketing perspective, it's a good thing. Like you can reach out to a bigger audience. But as a student myself, I never want to choose to learn anything online. If possible, I want to be in person in the class. There are a couple of reasons. First thing, the discipline life comes in. If the class is from this time to this time, I'm there in the school. I'm not, like sitting on my couch or lying in my bed and laptop on my chest and doing the classes. No, I get ready, I prepare breakfast, I take my lunch, and it's like having discipline in your life. The second thing comes in, I don't know why, but I feel this energy being among people. So it's like there are so many people coming from different backgrounds. Like in my class, we have people from South of America, from Middle East, then we have European people. And it's such a diverse cultural ambience in the class. And then all of us, we are speaking in a language that's not our mother language. And it's so nice. Then we have some kind of activities where we learn about each other's culture. They express their own cultures in German. So it's like we are learning German and also about their cultures or different cultures. I personally think going to a class and learning German is way better than just sitting at home and learning online. I mean, okay, if for some reason you cannot, that's the only option you have, go for it. But going to school is always better. What do you think? You've been teaching German for so many years. Online classes came in front of you. You're still teaching at a school. How do you think how do you compare both of these, online learning and in-person learning?
As you said, the face-to-face communication is much better, and you learn much more when you are in class with other people. It's the energy, and we are not only brains. We are people with emotions, and only other people can reach our emotions. And also when you're in class, you can see, oh, this person has this difficulty. Oh, I don't have. Or this, or I can learn from him. Or there's somebody who speaks and speaks and speaks and doesn't care about his mistakes. But I don't want to make mistakes. So you can learn from the others and their way of speaking German.
That's very
and
true.
Also it's the teacher again. It's the teacher and the atmosphere in the classroom. We have said at the time when we were at school, our teachers were very important. And this is
Yeah.
also when we are adults.
That's true.
I tried to learn Japanese once.
Okay.
Really. I didn't learn anything, I have to admit.
Is it konnichiwa in Japanese?
Yeah, konnichiwa. It
Okay.
is konnichiwa,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know much more than the konnichiwa. But the teacher was really bad. So I couldn't learn anything. I wanted to learn Japanese because I know the grammar and the construction of things is so different. But I didn't reach that because I couldn't learn anything. So the teacher is important.
You talked about learning Japanese, but you also learned so many other languages.
Yes. Which
While-
is not so difficult.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. Like when you learn so many different languages, you must have felt there's a strategy when you want to learn a new foreign language. Are there some common things that's same for everything, so that the students watching this can understand what should we strategize, or what things should we consider, or what are some tips when we want to learn a new foreign language?
Yeah.
Or maybe just let's talk about German. What are some tricks and tips that strategies?
Well, your first question was to learn. I learned many languages.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid. I was
okay.
not afraid to make mistakes. I just started talking.
Yeah.
And I was very proud when I knew at least one word in this language and I used it.
Yeah.
And I still do. When there's somebody in my class from a foreign language and I know just one word in this language, I say, and I like when the other person laughs. For example, somebody from Indonesia, I don't know anything in Indonesia, but I know nasi goreng and bami goreng, this food.
What does
And I
this
say
mean?
it to them.
It's a dish?
This is Indonesian.
No, is it a food? What did
It is a food.
Okay.
Nasi goreng is with rice and bami goreng, or the other way around, is with noodles, something. So I say this. Yeah. And this way I learned languages.
Mm-hmm.
It was one, but also, of course, I looked at the books and studied the grammar.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you know at least one or two, if you learned one or two languages already, it's so easy. It's much easier to learn a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth one, because you know what to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm so in awe right now. I'll tell you why. Two things. First of all, everyone coming from India especially, or some South Asian countries, or any different country, already in school they have learned English. So
Yeah.
English was not their first language. So
Yeah.
they already have experience in learning a foreign language. So don't be afraid. And now this thing that you said, don't be afraid and just go for it. And just even if you learn a couple of words, I'll tell you why I'm so happy with this, because this is something in entrepreneurship, in starting new businesses, or anywhere in life, I personally follow. I recommend to everyone. Stop being afraid and have no fear from making
Right.
mistakes.
Right.
Just start it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just try out. It's a game. It's a play.
Yeah.
But why don't people do it? I think many of the adults I'm working with, they recall their experiences as pupils at school. And they feel like being at school. And they are afraid. And there's the teacher. And maybe I get bad points.
Yeah.
And they behave like children. But they are not children anymore.
Yeah.
And they want to avoid any mistake, and for this they won't open their mouth. There could be a mistake. Yeah, I think this is one really important advice I would give. Don't behave like a child at school, because in the German courses, well, the situation is a little bit like at school. You sit there, you have a book, and there's a teacher, and the teacher teaches you, and you have to do what he says. So you mind your experiences at school, but it is not anymore like children
A
at school.
formal, strict education.
You know.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid. Just try out the little bit you can say.
Wow. I mean, if people can understand that making mistakes actually is helping them grow.
Right.
I mean, life changes.
Mistake is your friend.
Mistake is your friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, genau.
Perfect.
When we came here, I told you the one or two or three Sanskrit words. I
Yes.
know.
Can you do it again?
Ja,
Yeah.
Adha Chandrasana oder Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Can you understand?
Yeah,
This is
these are the
Eka-
names of asana. Yes.
Ekapada,
Ekapada means one leg.
right?
Yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah.
So I do this for a little bit of showing off. because I always do this when people come in
Yeah.
my class and I know any word from
Yeah.
their language show.
This is a very good thing, and I read this in a book also. Like, if you're meeting somebody for, like, I was reading it from a networking perspective. So it was like, if you're meeting someone from a different culture, maybe just learn one or two things about their culture and do that thing in the opening of the conversation, so they already have
Yeah.
a light mood and
Yeah.
they're like, damn, this dude is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have conquered
Yeah.
your partner.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have already broken the ice and you made an ice
Right.
cream out of it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of mistakes. And sometimes you speak with a strong accent, but and people often say to me, "Oh, I don't want to have an accent." Well, but an accent is charmant. An accent is nice.
Yeah.
Accent can be very sweet.
Yeah. I mean, we think when you see these Latin girls speak in English, how cute do they look? Yeah, it's like you represent that I am Latin.
Yeah.
And if many people, like, also Indians have a different, very strong accent when they
Oh,
speak
yeah.
English.
Yeah.
When they start speaking German, they will obviously have an accent, and that's a good thing to have. It's nothing. And also think of it from a German's perspective. And this is also like one of the podcasts we were talking about. If as a foreigner you speak German, and let's say you speak even a broken German, as a German, I think people will be happy to listen to you. Like,
Right.
you're at least trying, and they motivate you. I have a friend, Louis, and he helped me so much learning German. And whenever I had some doubts, questions, or I was, just lagging somewhere, he's like, "Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
That motivates me, and that's like, it's happening, and slowly it happened.
So when Indian people, when Indian children grow up, they grow up with Hindi
Yeah.
or with Gujarati or I don't know. But then they will perhaps learn another Indian language from their auntie or
Yeah.
yeah. But how do they do this? Just without school.
Without school,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very subconscious, unconscious or subconscious. Yeah.
Unconscious. Yeah, just by practicing, just by listening.
Yeah.
And this is one way also to learn German. I think there are two ways: the rational way with grammar, with reading, but also the others. Oh, what did these people say? Oh, how funny these Westphalian people speak to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
must be eager. You must be
It's like learning by doing.
learning by doing.
Yeah. And I also think, going to a school, this is one of the advantage also. You practically do it. It's not just like sitting in front of a screen and noting down everything that's been taught. You practically do it. You practically speak. You write letters. You listen. You do everything in a classroom and with other people. So it's like, as you also said, learning from their mistakes or learning from their advantages.
And there's a very big difference. People are very often not aware. There's a very big difference between spoken and written language.
Mm-hmm.
We think it's the same. It's not. Spoken language is very often a written sentence is a sentence with a beginning and an end and a point.
Yeah.
Spoken language, you start a sentence, then you interrupt yourself and interrupt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you would write down what I say,
Yeah.
you will see I won't finish any sentence. I interrupt myself. It's really different. So we have to speak. We have to practice speaking with people.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, that is very true. And also looking back at my own German learning experience and my journey, until I started speaking in German, my German learning was not that good. After I started actually having conversations in German, learning was like boom.
Yeah.
There was a boom after you started speaking. It's like, I don't know how it works, but as you said, it's like very different, the spoken language and then the written language. It's amazing. Also, it's one of the difficulties when you are in a foreign country, in your own home countries, you will not have many people to practice German with. Because let's say I want to go to Germany, so I started learning German, but I will not have many people who I can speak German with or have a conversation in German with.
Did you have any when you were in Delhi? Did you have any people to speak German to?
None, zero.
None. Okay.
Yeah, and I think unless you are in a German language learning school or an institute in your home countries, as soon as you step out of the school, you have no one.
Yeah, you have no one.
You have no one.
Right.
And that's why it's very, very important to take advantage of your time in the school, even if you are in your home countries or after you come here, to practice with those people. Don't think of them, I'm shy or what they might think of me. Nah, go for it.
But people are. So many people say, I don't even dare to ask somebody what's the time is. I could make a mistake. Well, who cares about that? Who cares? Let this German guy speak in their language. I'm sorry when I hear this.
Yeah, it's true. And also, like students who we help come to Germany for their studies, we start their German learning process as soon as they register with us. So we do not wait, okay, come to Germany and then we'll start with the language school. No. One thing I say to my clients or the students is, since the day you meet us, until the day you take your flights to Germany, there should not be a single day that you do not learn German.
Right. Not a single day.
Not a single day.
Every day a little bit.
And then after you come here, you settle in your apartment. As soon as you are ready to step out of your house, we register you with a German school. Okay. So it's like German learning. We won't leave our students. Like, even if they like it or not, we force them to learn German.
Okay, that's a good sentence. As soon as you are ready to step out, some people coming to another continent alone.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not so. Maybe they are afraid to step out. That's another thing we should talk about. This what we can call culture shock. You know
culture shocks.
You have this in English.
Culture shocks. Yeah, and it's like everyone is talking about, like, you see many people on social medias. They're like, these are the cultural shocks you will experience after coming in Germany.
Maybe
I think when they say the word shock, it's like very overselling it.
Right.
It's not a shock. It's a new culture.
It's not a shock.
Yeah.
But you have to prepare that things are quite different.
Let's dive into it. Let's dive into the German culture and what's different.
I think what one can do before coming to Germany is really try to get some information, or have a little bit knowledge of the German language, just to say hello, how to say ich möchte einen Kaffee. At least this, it gives a good feeling, not much more. The rest comes in Germany, but a little bit of preparation. Through the internet, we can see everything. We can see German films. We can a little bit of language teaching, a little bit of preparation would be nice. What is the idea of Germany when somebody from Delhi comes to Germany? They have a picture of Germany, don't they?
Personally, I did not have, because
you didn't.
Yeah, because I personally am, like, very individualistically. I am not very good geographically, and these things do not interest me. Okay. And the only interesting thing that I was interested in, or I was looking forward to, was my course, my master's program, because I wanted to come study entrepreneurship, how to start a business, because that was my very biggest zeal, my motivation. And I already had a startup in India, and that was the only thing interesting me. So I was like, I don't care which state my university is, which region my university is, which kind of apartment will I get, is my course good, and stuff like that. That was my personally.
Okay.
But many people are interested, and that's a mistake I did. I consider this as a mistake. I should have learned more about German culture. I should have known more about how Germans are, or how the system here works, how the transport system is.
Yeah, a little bit, at least a little bit.
At least a little bit. How the health insurance is.
But although you had no interest in how Germany is, you had an idea. Everybody has an idea.
Everybody has an idea, of course.
What is my idea about
punctuality?
India? What?
Punctuality about Germans.
Yeah,
and it's like work-life balance in Germany. And it's like beer festival. I know that's a cliche. But these are some things. Yeah.
And what did you think about the German language? You have had
I already started learning German I just did the A1 level in India because I did not have enough time.
You did the
A1.
A level in
A1, just A1.
A1.
But I'll tell you something. If you do B1 in India and you just do A1 or A2 in Germany, I think that's the same thing because of difference of environment and the more possibilities you have to practice German here in Germany. So it's like I can give a B1 exam in India. Okay, I know the grammar stuff, but am I proficient enough to have a conversation? No.
So A1 in India, what were you able to say?
Alphabets, numbers, my name. That's it.
That's it.
That's
not much.
Yeah.
And did you have an idea about the German language? Did you think it is difficult, like everybody says it's difficult?
So again, the role of the teacher comes in. The teacher who was teaching me German, fantastic teacher.
Good.
Yeah, fabulous teacher. And I was learning online. So okay, this was already a disadvantage because I personally like being in a physical present in the class.
Yeah.
But still, this teacher was so amazing and she cleared so many things in such a beautiful way.
Was she German?
No, Indian.
Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
And
Yeah.
she's just again, I think she was very well known herself. She knew the language very well herself, and that's why she could clear it so much for me.
Yeah.
And I think because I started my journey with such a good teacher,
Yeah.
I did not have this fear
You
of
did
German.
not have this,
Yeah.
but because almost everybody says German is a different language. German is a hard language. That's a stereotype, a
Yeah.
prejudice.
Yeah.
It's not true. German is not true.
No.
Over the years, I tried to find out why everybody says German is hard and brutal. And
Okay.
I have an idea, I have an explanation.
Go for it.
Many people have their first Begegnung,
The first experience or interaction.
their first experience with the German language they have was a film, a Hollywood film maybe.
Okay.
And those Hollywood films like to have subjects in the Nazi.
Yeah.
And
Era,
the Germans
yeah.
are the Nazis. And how do Nazis speak German? Achtung, back,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
And that's in the minds that
Yeah.
German is this hard language, this militarized language, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you speak about French language, you see romantic
Romance,
films.
coffee, croissant.
Genau, and je t'aime, like this, yeah. But German, it's always this military Nazi thing, yeah. But I almost always ask my people, what was your first German word?
Mm-hmm.
Very often they say Achtung.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I should not say mine, but it was Scheiße.
Scheiße?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think many of the young people, when they want to, learn a new language, it's like learn the bad words
Yeah,
first.
they like to learn the bad words.
Yeah, and I think it's also funny way because now they're interested in the language because this is something, especially the young people, when they learn the bad word, it's like now I'm friendly with the language.
Yeah, why not? Why not? You
and
can
if
start
this
with a
makes
bad
your
word.
first experience good,
Yeah.
And as you said, it's very, very important how the first interaction is. There's a very famous English saying, it's like first impression is the last impression.
Right.
So while learning German, be very cautious choosing a German teacher who's really good and can, just ignite this love for this language in you.
Yeah.
And I think once it's done, once the fire is on, then it goes on and you love the language.
Oh yes, yes. And then sometimes people start to write little essays or poems in Germany with all the mistakes. It's so wonderful. It's so creative. If a non-German native speaker writes, it's much more creative than
could be. I mean, yes. If I can write a love letter one day in German, that would be really nice.
It's not so. A love letter is not. It's not so difficult, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, it shouldn't be now.
Well,
Let me find some German girl.
Yeah, you find some German girl if you need some correction.
Yeah, I'll come to you first.
Yeah.
But if we can try to break it down, the German language learning process, let's break it down if we can in some segments that this is should be the first step. Then. Do you have something because you've been teaching for so many years now?
What should be the first thing to
Yeah,
do?
like first thing to do, and then what should be the following steps? How should you begin your German learning journey?
Yeah, well, it depends. If you started in India already, we're speaking about Indians.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Like you, it's a very good idea to start in India with a little bit to
Yeah.
have an idea. You feel much more secure
Mm-hmm.
because the culture shock, culture shock will come. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And then you dare to go out, to go to a shop, to meet people, to say hello, wie geht's, something. One should start like this and then try to find a course.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
join a course.
Yeah. And then the teacher takes care of you.
And the teacher takes care of you. If the teacher is bad, if the institution is bad, you change. You go somewhere else.
Yeah. So it's like if you're registered by a school, don't think that I'm stuck here now. Find a course
Right.
that's interesting, that you feel really happy going to, because that's very important, and that's also very possible. Everywhere there are language schools, so go try out wherever you find it's best. Go over there. And now comes my other question also, like the way you teach German in class, it's very interesting. There are very few teachers that have this thing of really a passion for teaching, and their way of teaching is really different. Did you have a professional course, or did you learn how to teach, or is it something you prepare, or how do you bring this energy to the German language thing?
Good question. I think it's my
Your natural instinct?
yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I think it's also because you are yourself very passionate about the language.
Yes,
I think
like
that's
language.
why. Yeah.
I like language. I like people.
Yeah.
I would not teach via the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I like the direct contact with people.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to people. I think it's very important for a teacher to really listen and concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
And well, if somebody joins a course, he should go to the course. That's
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Today, I'm tired. Maybe I stay a little bit in bed. I go tomorrow. No, you have an appointment with yourself. You go 5 weeks or whatever, or depends. You go every day.
Yeah.
And if you have a headache, you go. And if you're tired, you go. And if you have a hangover, you go.
Yeah.
You feel much better.
Yeah.
As you said, you have to dress, and all this. You
Discipline
meet
comes
other
in.
people. I've often heard of people that finished a course and they were alone at home
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and felt lonely and a little bit depressed. So
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel sad when there are 2-3 weeks of this gap between two courses.
oh yeah,
I'm like, no, why?
yeah,
I want to go to school, learn
Yeah,
the language.
yeah.
And now we'll have the Christmas break for a couple
yeah,
of weeks.
two,
Yeah.
3 or so. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I personally don't like it. I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
school
right.
is so interesting and so happy place, and
Yeah.
we learn so much.
Because with all the other people, you are
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
They are so different to you. They are
Yeah.
very different. The
Exactly.
people.
Yeah.
Some older women and Muslim people and South American. But you have the same aim. You want to learn German. And that makes you friends somehow, doesn't it?
this is so much interesting. I'll tell you why. Because circle of life, let's say it. In Romania, we had this activity, and we were such a diverse group. We were standing in a circle, and I think we have been talking about this in all the podcasts, the same thing. But I'll tell you why. It's like we were standing in a circle, and all of us, we just had to call out our name, and the next person says their name, and then the thing goes around. And we had to do this under 9 seconds, and we were like 35 to 40 people. The first time we do it, it was under 20 seconds. Then we came 15 seconds, then 5,
Oh.
then slowly, and then we did it under 9 seconds. And this is the thing that I learned for business perspective. It's like when a group of people or when a team have the same zeal and the same goal to achieve,
Yeah.
they'll achieve it anyhow.
Right.
Does not matter how diverse they are, does not matter how different backgrounds they come from. It's like if you have the same goal and the same passion, you do it.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
this is the same with
Yeah.
the German class.
Yeah.
All of them, they are here just for one thing,
Mhm.
Deutsch zu verbessern.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to improve their German, to learn the language. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, then brings up this whole energy of a group, and then you all grow together.
Well, and this energy reflects on the teacher, and the teacher reflects on this. It's a give and take,
Oh, wow.
you know. a group without energy is difficult to teach. Very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About difficulties. Sometimes there are people coming and want to learn German who live in Germany for 20 years and never learned German, but a little bit. And after 20 years in Germany, with non-grammar language, they want to learn German.
Okay.
These are the most difficult learners ever. And forget it.
Okay.
It's almost impossible after such a long time, when you used to speak a broken German, a very bad German, to change into a good German. It's almost impossible, I would say. So, as young as possible, start to learn the language, because age is important for learning a language.
It's like when you're a baby, you're like a sponge. You absorb everything. And also I've seen this personally in an intercultural family where parents are from different cultures or where there are multiple languages spoken. The kid will learn all the languages. Easily.
Yeah.
And I also think, imagine coming to Germany, or when you move to Germany, it's like you start your new life. So imagine this is your new birth here.
Yeah.
And now is the best time to learn language in your early days. If you think, oh no, after my master's or after my course, after I get a job, I'll maybe learn German. No. Start in the initial days and start before coming here. So
start as early as possible.
Yeah.
Like the children learn quite easy. After puberty, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And when you about 16, 17 years old, you will keep your accent.
Yeah.
Because the tongue is not as flexible anymore. The tongue is not so flexible anymore. And if you're in my age, it's almost impossible because the memory is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I couldn't learn another language well.
I think you can, because you're very passionate about learning languages.
Yeah, I should have a very strong motivation.
Yeah, I think now you should learn Hindi.
Hindi?
Yeah.
Well, I would start with the letters.
Yeah, alphabets, yeah.
I'm very interested in letters.
Yeah. I mean, the alphabets are completely different, but many students coming from international countries, they already know English. So they already know the alphabets. And German alphabets are exactly the same. Just a couple of new with the umlauts.
Some umlaute,
yeah. And it's so easy starting the language. It's like very basic. And find a good teacher. Let them ignite the fire in you.
Does every Indian speak English?
Every Indian who goes to a school knows English.
Okay. Who goes to a school? Which every school or?
Every school, because English, they start learning, I think, from the first standard. From the first standard itself. ABCDs, they learn from the very first class. And I think even in the kindergartens now, I don't know, but I think in the kindergartens they're teaching ABCDs now.
You learn ABCDs in English first or Hindi language, Hindi writing first?
Oh, that's difficult. I think English.
Really?
Yeah. Or maybe Hindi, both at the same time, because nowadays all the schools are in English medium schools, so it's like the medium of study is in English.
Are there people in India who are not able to write Hindi?
I don't think now there are people who won't, because now...
Well, there are analphabets, of course, but I don't...
Yeah, wow. I mean, school...
People who write English but not Hindi?
Could be. I mean,
Could be.
People who are signing their names, most of them, they sign it in English. Nobody's signing their names in Hindi nowadays. No? I have not seen even my grandfather, grandmother. The house help that we have, they might sign their name in their own mother tongues. The house helps.
Okay.
But I have not seen anyone else who sign their names in their mother language. Everyone signs their name in English.
That reminds me, we don't have house helps in Germany.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know.
It's very, very costly here.
Yeah. People do it themselves.
I think they should do it themselves until the point they can't anymore.
When in old age.
Or maybe you're very, very busy and you have no time at all. Your work requires you to be there 10, 12 hours. Then you actually don't have time. And then you really need somebody to take care of the house chores and maybe help you with stuff.
Because in Germany, you don't live together with all the family. You're alone. The children are somewhere else.
It's easy to take care of yourself.
You need help.
Yeah. When you're old, especially.
And these are all the differences between the two countries, between the two cultures, which one should try to find out and to learn about, besides from the language.
Yeah.
Not only learn German, but learn about the German culture.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And also, not just cultural shocks like you will go in gyms and you will go in spa and you will see naked people. Okay, that's a very different thing. And okay. But think about so many things that even on a basic level, like we were talking about education. The schooling system in Germany is completely different from the schooling system we have in India.
Okay.
Education, like after the 6th grade, I think you choose which school, the 3 different schools you have. We don't have that. We have 12 years of education, and in the 10th standard, you actually choose how do you say it, man? A stream. You study arts, you study commerce, or you study science, and then you do an entrance level exam, and then you go for your bachelor's, and then you do your master's. And here we have Ausbildung, we have diplomas, we have dual studium, and we have we were doing it in
about this.
Yeah. So we and in the Grundschule, there's a Grundschule and gymnasium. It's completely different. The insurance thing is completely different. The transport is completely different. There's so many.
School uniform doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
You have school uniforms.
We have school uniforms, and I am with the concept of school uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
But these are so many daily life things that are different in Germany, and I think with podcasts like these, where we talk about so many different topics, students who are in their home countries can learn about German. And that's also the only reason for having this podcast and inviting guests from different fields is let's talk about Germany. Let's tell them what Germany is.
Yeah, let's talk about Germany.
Yeah.
When I thought about this broadcast, we were talking about, I was thinking, I imagine an Indian student coming to Germany. It's Sunday. There's no university. He's alone at home and he wants to go out. And he walks through a small town like this one, and there's nobody on the street.
Yeah.
He's all alone.
Yeah.
And I think this could be a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
When you go to the street in India, it looks different. There are people. But
There's
here,
always someone.
on a Sunday afternoon, perhaps you will meet nobody.
Yes.
Yes. You should prepare for this. You should be able to explain and to know what happens. Otherwise, I'm all alone in this world. Yeah.
What advice do you have for people, especially coming from countries like ours, where there are so many people and we live in a society and it's like there's always somebody to interact with? And then there's German culture where many people are individualistic and they, have their own life. They live personally in their houses, and then on Sunday they don't even leave their houses.
Yeah.
How should we adapt to this?
Maybe you can't really adapt to this.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to find your own flight. You must know some people.
Okay.
Look for a friend, and you go with that friend.
Yeah.
Try to join a group.
Mm-hmm.
Play football, if you want to play football.
Yeah.
Those gyms, those fitness clubs. These are gyms.
Gyms, yes.
Gyms don't really help. You are in a gym. You are alone. You go to the machine and you do these things, and you don't really have company.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go to a Sportsverein.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say
sports clubs or academies?
There are so many in every town, every city. You have sports club. You join the sports club, so you are in a group.
Yeah.
You will get to know people. Maybe there's one or two, and you can do something with them. You can go for a walk. And you are two people on the street. You're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
You must be active.
Yeah.
You must do something.
Yeah.
They don't come to you. When you're lonely Indian and you're a little flat and on a Sunday, especially Sundays.
Yeah.
Because people relax on Sunday at home, looking television or whatever. Yeah. You must be active. You must look for people.
Socialize, make friends, and be involved culturally. And to be involved culturally, to make friends, you have to learn German.
You have to learn German.
Yeah.
And you will learn German. You have to learn a bit, but you will learn
Get
more.
better and better.
Or you engage in something that interests you. I can remember one of my students was engaged in helping poor people.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get any money for this, but
It was volunteer work.
yeah, volunteer work.
Yeah.
It
Do
he
social
was
work,
very
like,
satisfied with this work.
Yeah.
He knew many people and auch poor people in Germany and so
Yeah.
on. So on.
Perfect. And Germany has so many beautiful churches.
Churches.
Yeah, go visit some churches.
Go into the well. Some people don't go into the church because their religion is another religion, and they
Okay.
think they will be. But you can go in any church. You don't have to pray. But
Yeah.
churches are fine.
I mean, when I came to Germany, I was living here in this town. And for 3 months, I did not know that we have a temple in Bielefeld, for a Hindu temple.
Do we?
If we
I
have
didn't. I don't know.
Okay,
Okay.
this Sunday we'll go. But until then, every Sunday I was going to a church with my house owner.
What
And I
a
found-
very good idea.
Yeah, I found it really interesting.
Yeah.
And I personally, I believe in God, spirituality. And if there's a place where people
Yeah.
pray to God and they gather around, have good energy, I was happy to go to a church every Sunday.
What a nice idea. We should repeat it for everyone. Go to a church.
Go to a church
Church.
on Sundays. And
Yes.
if you can find one near your house, there are so many beautiful old churches with such a great architecture. Go there, pray. And it's like God is one.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
theory. I think your theory
You can
also.
pray,
Yeah.
you can listen to the speaker
Yeah.
and you can sing. And singing makes you happy.
Yes.
And you can listen to the music. There's always an organist who plays music.
Yeah. There's always some kind of musical performance.
Yeah, there's
And-
always music.
yeah. And then there's coffee afterwards.
Right. Afterwards, you get coffee and some cookies.
Cookies.
Maybe. And people are very nice after a prayer, after Gottesdienst, after service. People are in a very good mood,
yeah.
sharing with each other. And in most churches, at the end, everybody gives hand to its neighbor and
Yeah.
wishes something
They pray, yeah.
after
like
the prayer.
yeah, like it's like a gratitude.
What a very good idea. Go to a church, go to play football also.
Yeah, play football. And Germany is so famous for trekking. Go in the forest, go for trekking, have a nice view, make yourself some food and go enjoy, have a
Yes.
picnic.
Yes, but try to find somebody you can do this with.
Yeah,
Don't do
for
it
sure,
alone.
yes.
I think coming to Germany from India in the beginning and you
Yeah.
go into the forest is maybe a little bit different.
Find a friend, maybe find somebody also international. You both go explore.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the wolves and the foxes.
Yeah, no need to worry about them.
There
You
are
don't
no
find
wolves?
them. I have not interacted any other wolf other than myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
but that's cool.
I have another good idea how to get in contact. Get yourself a dog and go walk the dog.
Uh-huh.
Walk the dog. Well, students normally
Yeah.
don't have a dog. But if you have a dog,
Mhm.
you will meet other people who walk their dogs.
Okay.
And it's very easy to come in contact about the dogs.
You know, in Romania, there was this activity where we were divided into groups and we were supposed to come up with an online business idea. You know what idea did we come up with? It was a dating platform for your pets.
Oh, yeah, a dating place. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah,
good
because
idea.
it's very
Yeah.
difficult for pets to find a
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah.
So it's like we were thinking of an online like Tinder,
Yeah.
but for pets.
Yeah.
And we tried to find out there were no competitors, and I think we should really make this thing real.
Dating platform for what a very good idea. Yeah.
And also then the owners can meet each other with pets. It's like a good thing.
Genau. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think it's very late for students who have been here for a longer time already to start learning German, or it's like whenever you can just start it? It's never too late.
It's never for students. It's never too late. They should start. They are students. They are still young.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of opportunities do we have? Like, do we have language schools, or do we have other things also where people can learn German?
I was working for a very long time at University of Bielefeld, and they have certain courses for students.
Okay.
Students came. We had a test, which niveau,
Mm-hmm. Which level you
which
are?
level they are, and then we had 3 levels, I think.
Mhm.
Some people who were very, very good, they learned German for a month, I think. Next level, half a year. Other level, very low level for 1 year. And then they made a test, the DSH test or test stuff. It's different universities have different tests, but it's about C1, the C1.
C1, yeah.
C1, more or less. And then they could start to study. And these German courses were for free. They didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Only these university fees. I don't know what.
The semester fee.
The semester fee.
Yeah.
It's not so much.
Yeah, I mean, semester fee you have to pay regardless because you're registered as a student. So you're supposed to pay the semester fees. And these courses are an additional benefit that you get. And also, I think, especially schools like Volkshochschule, they have evening courses also. So if like you are working somewhere through the day and you still want to learn German, they have something for you in the evening. And it's such a great thing that you can still go to school and have that ambience, that energy, and still learn German. So nothing is stopping you. If you really want, there's always something for you.
There's always some. We have private schools.
Yeah.
Volkshochschule, as you mentioned, in the evening, or intensive throughout the day, what we are doing, which is the best.
Yeah, I find it best.
Because you are awake, you can concentrate of the language. And now I say, now people, you invest time, you invest money. Now please take your chance and learn and think German and listen in the tram, in the train. Listen to people. What are they talking?
Yes.
Watch television, read newspapers, get a little bit about German politics.
Yeah. I mean, especially when I'm done with the language school and I'm going back home, it's the same time the schools are free, so the students are also going back home. And it's like they're chirping so much and you hear all the different kind of things they're talking about. Yeah. It's always a great experience.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Nice.
Films with subtitles.
Films with subtitles.
Films with subtitles might be a good idea. You have maybe English films with German subtitles.
Yeah.
Or better, even better, you have original German films with original German
subtitles,
actors.
How is German cinema, let's say? What kind of films do we see in German? Like Hollywood is like action, sci-fi and romance. And Bollywood is like always dancing and drama.
Me. I very often go to the cinema. I like cinema. But not these wie heißen die Busters? I don't like action films.
Blockbusters. The blockbusters.
I would not go blockbuster. I go to art house.
Artistic films.
Art house, they call it art house films. Maybe these are not so interesting for younger people. My daughter, for example, is not so interested in art house films as I do. But I like German-made, especially I like German films.
What kind of movies are these, like historical, or do they have a theme and they represent it very well? Because I'm very interested in films of any kind. I like to see the screenplay. I like to see the artistic work behind it.
Let's go to the cinema sometime.
Let's go to it. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the cinema in winter. Why not? There's a cinema near our school, just a few steps near our school.
Let's go for it.
We go into in a German production.
Yes, 100%.
With German actors. I like the German actors.
100%.
Yeah.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, because while learning English also, what helped me very much was English songs, English podcasts, and English movies. It's like initially I used to watch movies with subtitles on, but then when the English adapted me so much, I did not want to look at the subtitles anymore. It's like I want to see what's happening on the screen. And I think with also, like, people should have their favorite TV shows and favorite music. Let's just talk about TV shows like Friends, The Office, and other stuff. Watch these TV shows dubbed in German. Yeah. So because you already know what the dialogues are because it's a favorite TV show. Yeah. But now you're watching it in German, so you can easily resonate and it translated in your mind automatically.
That's what I recommend to everybody. Do read or listen or watch what you are interested in.
Yes.
If you're interested in food preparing, read recipes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or of some women interested in fashion, look German fashion magazines.
Yes.
Because you're really interested. So.
Yeah. That's perfect.
You must.
What interests
language learning is an emotional thing. It's not only a cognitive thing. It's an emotional emotional thing. So you have to satisfy your emotions. Yeah.
Perfect. With that being said, I thank you again for coming on the podcast, and I hope you keep coming and keep teaching us more about the German culture and what's happening in Germany.
Very nice. Thank you very much for being here, for this invitation. Thank you.
I hope you have a nice day.
Good. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen.
Namaste.
Namaste.